So Barbie has really taken over the world, it seems, ever since last week's release of her headlining movie. And as many people are honoring her glitz and glam, one local entrepreneur has actually found a really unique way to merge the interest in the Barbie world and her own mission of connecting young girls with the world of STEM. Joining us this afternoon is Kristen Wells-Lewis. She is the founder and lead creative chemist of Black to the Lab. It's an educational learning toy, and it exposes young Black girls to science, technology, engineering, and math through hands-on experience and experimental activity kits. It's so cool. Coming up this weekend, Kristen's going to be hosting a special event called In the Lab with Barbie and Black to the Lab. So thanks so much, Kristen, for spending some time with us here on the KRLD Afternoon News. What a cool concept. Tell our listeners about what this event is going to actually bring to our community.
Absolutely. Thank you all so much for having me, Kristen to Kristen. I always think that's really fun when I meet other Kristens. But yeah,
that's right. We got the best names.
Right. But yeah, right. We won't leave you out. So we're super excited about this Saturday's event. Ultimately, when we think about Black to the Lab, we like to do our community events just to get people to start to think about this concept, right? We know STEM in a traditional format and how it's taught in school, but there are also some additional careers that don't necessarily get explored in schools. And so when we think about cosmetic chemistry and the formulation of beauty products and all of these products that we love, that's science as well. And so one thing that we know that Barbie loves is to look beautiful. So there are so many different cosmetic brands that are partnering along with the Barbie brand to release some cosmetics and some of the things that we use every day, right, to give us that Barbie effect or that Barbie look or that glam look. And it reminded me so much of my childhood. I truly am a Barbie girl through and through. I don't think a lot of people are saying like, oh my God, my love for Barbie is resurfacing. I don't think it's ever left me. Like, I'm truly a Barbie girl. And what is so unique was my freshman year in college. When we were in college, it was the era of like custom t-shirts. And I convinced my friends, we just met each other. We're from all over the world. We're in this science program in the summertime, transitioning right out of high school. And we had the Barbie girl biology shirts. I wish I had a picture of it.
Oh my gosh, how cool.
It was just something fun to do, like something to kind of share our love for it and just to like be stylish and fun as well. And when I think about Black to the Lab, we always try to integrate what's happening culturally because we know that is what makes us unique is our cultural relevance and connected to our communities. So we've done Easter workshops, Mother's Day workshops, and we could not pass on doing a Barbie workshop. So they'll get a chance to create lip gloss, body scrub. We have some games. They'll be able to customize their packaging, some Barbie makeovers. We have some sponsors that have sent us some great giveaways. Like I came to the warehouse today and I opened the box and I'm like, oh my God. So I'm super excited of what the young girls will be able to experience, and their parents will be there walking along with them. And I hope that the parents kind of get excited. That's our feel, is to kind of have that multi-generational experience.
I was going to say, parents must be wondering, why didn't we have this when we were kids at the time? Are kids really surprised when they find out how much science goes into that cosmetics world?
Absolutely. So I often start every workshop. I ask students, what did they use this morning when they got up, just to get ready for the day. And so we will hear some people say, oh, I washed my hair, I brushed my teeth, or I use this body wash or this lotion. And so after I ask them that question, then I ask them, did you know a scientist made those things? And oftentimes they're shocked, but when we start to go into the development and explaining product development, they're like, oh, that makes a ton of sense. But we don't really know the scientists behind a lot of the brands and a lot of the things that are created. We just know the pretty outside packaging once it reaches the shelves and how it's marketed to us, and we fall in love with it that way. We don't necessarily consider the product development and the years of product development and science and testing that goes into creating some of these products that we love.
That is such a cool concept. And I do really love that you are opening that taking the wing, letting us look at backstage about, how these products are actually created. There used to be like I think it was called How Is It Made or something like that. I remember as a kid, I remember vividly when they talked about how crayons were made and they took you through the factory and they showed you all the different colors.
How it was made.
And it blew my mind. So I can only imagine that these young girls are kind of feeling that same type of experience when you're with them. What's the age range that you target for Black to the Lab?
So we typically target young girls from elementary to middle school, and even with our high school girls. People are often surprised that we work with high school girls as well, because those girls are really, really important. They're in that decision-making stage where it's, maybe I didn't get this opportunity back then, but now I know it's an opportunity now. And so what does college look like for me? What does job opportunities look like for me? What are those conversations? But we do want to get girls early enough, because typically girls lose interest in STEM. The studies show around 5th grade. And so the earlier we can expose them to what STEM looks like and all that it encompasses, the earlier we hope to captivate their minds to start exploring it more and more for themselves.
One thing you talk about on your website, blacktothelab.com, is you talk about math and science and engineering and science, but you also talk about critical thinking. Why is that important?
So critical thinking is important, especially when we think about some of our products, and even think about it from a consumer perspective, right? You have this product and you see some separation in it. And so sometimes we'll just shake it up, we'll use it, right? But that means something. What does it mean? What do we need to explore when we see the color of our products start to change? What do we need to explore in those spaces? And these are just some day-to-day critical thinking concepts that are just based on the observation. Then we go into smelling and our critical thinking of what happens when things start to change smell. And that's so important because it is the basis of all science. Like truly just observation and critical thinking really puts us in a mindset state of what do we do next? So science is all about making mistakes and solving problems, and you want to fix those mistakes. So if you see a mistake, your job is to solve it as a scientist. And so using our critical thinking concepts, that allows us to explore, like, this isn't right. What do we do next? We don't just trash it. What do we do next? How can we improve it? How can we make it better? How can we make it functional? How can we make it safer?
Love that. All righty. So let's get some people to this event. I know you have limited spaces, but how can people sign up their little girl?
Yes, absolutely. So everyone can sign up on our website, www.blacktothelab.com. In our Shop All tab, where you find all of our products, there is the registration link for the event on Saturday. If they follow us on social media at Black to the Lab, on Instagram and Facebook, we're responding in real time to assist anyone who needs any additional help with getting registered or who has any questions. So we want to see everyone across the Metroplex come out and bring their kids out to enjoy this event.
Now, if they can't make the event, can they also still buy the activity kits any time of the year?
Absolutely. So our activity kits are sold year-round on our website and on Amazon. So we have our activity kits and our vocabulary cards available on Amazon. Of course, they won't be Barbie themed, but it will still include those main learning concepts where young girls will get a chance to formulate their own lip gloss and their own body scrub. So they can definitely shop if they aren't able to make it or if they aren't local to the Dallas area.
Love that. Love that. Anything else you want our listeners to know about Black to the Lab?
I think I just want our listeners to know that science is fun, and that's our goal, and our aim is to really increase the representation of Black girls in science and to make science one of those core conversation concepts when we talk about next steps and future and what does it look like to see us involved in transitioning our mind from not only being consumers, but to being producers as well.
So exciting. In the Lab with Barbie and Black to the Lab happening this weekend. Don't forget to sign up. And that is Kristen Wells-Lewis, the founder and lead creative chemist of Black to the Lab here on KRLD. Thanks so much for the time.
Thank you so much.